What is up? We are back with some more Solare. This is Team Veerity. Second episode of Team Veerity. This is session 19 overall. So, let's do it. Previously in Solare, the new team of Ricard, Lilith, Onipam, Silmanor, and Sina set off on their mission to Veerity. Along the road, they encountered some interesting environments, climates, and enemies as well. Along with this, the journey allowed for opportunities of getting familiar with each other and learning about their new teammates. And eventually, the long journey ended in the city of Kustalit, where the request for this mission came from. And that is where we will kick off for today. So, as you follow the river south, you approach the walls of the city. Despite the cold, the river has a consistent flow and has not frozen over as it flows into the city. The front entrance of the city is unguarded, but there are guard towers along the river entrance. And, if you guys would like, you can open Owlbear. I think it's pinned in here. Nope. If it's pinned in general, then maybe. Yeah.
Owlbear that everyone can use.
Yes. And we have a map of Kustalit kind of up top.
My thing keeps loading, just saying missing image.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was a little worried, but I see the map. Oh wait, there's us.
There is.
I see 3 question marks.
Go north.
Ah,
Yeah. So, as you all enter into the city, the walls open up into multiple roads. One heads toward the guard tower up to your left, and those are the 2 guard towers I mentioned before. There's a path that goes straight across a bridge, and another path that heads right through a small park. Across the bridge, you can see a large central square marked by a clock tower, which is basically the main feature of the city as well as the square.
what's a clock?
Across the bridge, or actually, a sign next to the bridge reads, "Welcome to Kustalit, where troubles are cast off across the sea."
Ominous whatsoever.
I was gonna say, does that mean that they throw their troubles across the sea? That's an odd thing to do.
So, where would you like to go?
Do we know where in Kustalit we're supposed to go to, or?
You do not.
Okay.
Well, we should probably go over our mission objective, at least for here. Only Pam's gonna look at everyone.
Because was all the descriptions were written down, right?
Yep. I mean, basically, all you know is a request came in for fishing boats getting attacked by monsters along the river. So that's what you're working with.
I guess then maybe head to the docks.
Who knows? Maybe we can see some troubles being cast over the sea.
I think I'm looking at one.
So to the docks it is.
To the docks we go.
Alright. Which way would you like to go to get there?
Alright, those that have been here, lead the way, or Onipam will do it.
Specifically, it has been here, so I'm just like, well, that's not me.
No one has
Well,
been here.
it seems like
No been here?
the actual docks is more on the right side.
Yes.
So
Let's
Yeah,
go
we're
through
gonna
the
go
park
over the
then.
bridge.
What?
So you guys are going across the bridge down that way? Or are you going
yeah,
through the park?
no, we should go across the bridge and then
Okay.
go down.
Alright. Yeah, so you guys go across the bridge, and it opens up into that central square that I mentioned. And the central square is peppered with many people who are out and about. Some are carrying supplies on tarps, some are exchanging in casual conversation. Seems to be a fairly standard workday in the city. And as mentioned before, this main central square is sort of the main thoroughfare through the city, and it's marked by the large clock tower at the center. The clock tower itself isn't anything special, but as you pass by, the doors open up and reveal a line of people in cuffs and chains being led by some sort of authority officer. And the man yells, "All right, get a move on. The next boat departs in 1 hour." The line of prisoners walk along with grimacing faces as they head farther into the city.
I wonder if those are the troubles.
I've
Could
seen
very well be.
Cena doing.
Cena looks a little uncomfortable, but is trying to contain herself.
Well, let's hurry to the docks too.
Sure enough, you guys follow these prisoners, and you guys eventually make your way to the docks where the prisoners end up. The docks are fairly busy as well. There are a number of people carrying supplies on and off the boats, and these prisoners actually go into a nearby building where you assume they're being prepped to get on another ship or something like that. But the docks are pretty much filled with a couple of officers, but mainly just local fishermen who are just doing their daily tasks.
Gotta get those dailies done.
Well, I guess we should go over towards the fishermen.
Sure.
I agree with that.
Do I know of any places that engage in the slave trade with Veerity? Like other nations?
Who said this was a slave trade?
That's, how do you know this information?
Who do I know of a slave of other nations using slaves? Is what I mean.
No.
No, okay.
That's a oddly specific topic, Fear.
Okay. Well, yeah, you guys find just the nearest fisherman.
Excuse me, sir.
Oh, yeah. What's up?
We are here with the Dawn Striders because we have heard that there have been fishing boats being attacked along the river.
Uh, hmm. Yeah. Well, there have been boats being attacked, or at least rumors of, but I haven't seen any attacks or anything like that myself. You might be better off finding someone in the tavern, as he points to the large building with the blue roof behind you guys. Someone in there might have more info on who you can talk to about this whole situation.
Well then, thank you for the help.
Alright,
Certainly.
let's go try to find the local gossip.
So, yeah, you enter the tavern. Pretty sparse, I would say. There are a couple of groups of fishermen kind of just seated like around. There's like a couple of them up at the bar as well, talking to the bartender. But all in all, this tavern seems to be, your pretty standard fishing tavern, I would say. Lots of sailors and sailor stories.
Perfect. Exactly what we need. Sailors.
Is there any of the seamen that look distressed or below down in the dumps?
Not particularly distressed. Although the group that's up by the bar talking with the bartender does seem a little bit, I would say, more annoyed. Just based on the tone of their conversation.
What are you looking for there, Solminar?
You like to make friends. Why don't you go and figure out what's going on over there with those people?
Noni Pim's gonna look at him. They seem bothered by something. I don't know if that'd be a good time to talk to them. I mean, imagine
That's
if you
just
were
an
having
icebreaker.
well, imagine if you were having like a really serious, like, oh man, kind of conversation, and then someone else just walked over and was like, hey.
That is surprisingly aware of you.
I don't know. I just don't want any trouble from them. Maybe it'd be just more convenient to talk to the barkeeper himself. He doesn't seem too bothered by it.
True.
Plus, it's a nice place where we can warm up. I'm gonna go find somewhere to sit. And by sit, I mean just relax.
I'll accompany you.
Oni Pim's gonna fly away. Good luck, Solminar.
What's around? What's everything? Rickard,
Oh, what? Sorry, I didn't hear what you said.
you want to
Oh, yeah, sorry. I didn't
go
hear
over
what
to
you
the?
said. Good.
You want to go over to the barkeep with me?
Sure.
Ask him some questions.
Yeah, we can do that.
Alright. Yeah, the two of you, kind of meander your way up to the bar, and sit down a couple seats down from the group that the bartender was talking to. He notices the two of you sits down and excuses himself from his previous conversation to attend to the two of you. Gentlemen, what are we having today?
Well, we more came for information.
Information, you say? Well, I do hear all the gossip about everything here in town, so I'd say I'm your guy.
Heard about some fishing boats being attacked on the river. Want to know what was up with that?
Yeah. Well, as of right now, it's just a rumor. But I don't know. These guys I was just talking to over there claimed that the Duke is not doing enough about the rumors. They're just a little annoyed and scared that something might happen to them out there. And hey, I can understand. A man can't feel secure doing what he needs to do, then how is he supposed to do it?
He's been attacked and what detail? The tail?
Not that I have come across, no. But I'd say if you're looking for someone who might know, the Duke who runs the city, he knows pretty much anything and everything that goes on involving trade and operations of the city, so maybe he's heard some different things than what's come across my tavern here.
Would there be a way for us to talk to this dude?
He thinks for a moment. Well, City Hall is right next door. I'd say your best bet is just requesting an audience with him. If you tell him who you are, I'm sure you might be able to make an exception.
Well, thank you for the help.
Certainly. And good luck to you. Hopefully we can crack down on this mysterious rumor. The bartender will walk away and start washing some glasses and whatnot.
Alright, well, get up and I guess go back over towards Tony, Pam, and Lilith.
Alright, but before that, while they were getting the information and talking to the bartender, Onipem's gonna talk to Lilith at like the same time. Hey, Lilith, you got a second?
Yes. Do you need something?
Not really. I was just wanting to watch and see how the others can go about things.
Oh, by the way,
since-
Cena went and sat with Onipam and Lilith.
Okay, good. They're a part of the group too. But, you know, since we've been traveling around with the glow dragons so much, and already on our journey here, I could tell that, these two work a bit differently than the others. I just thought that now would be a good time to see how, you know, they handle going about business and stuff.
Well, I mean, it's good to know how each of our companions operate with each other, but it's also good to communicate that, I will also say.
Oh. Well, we'll get to that part. But, looks like they're being about as, direct and indirect as I thought they would be.
Yeah, I mean, it's similar to how we operate in the Glow Dragons, since we tend to go head on majority of the time, but there are still occasions where we take a different approach.
Exactly. Like, instead of going up to the group like someone or said, they decided to sit a little bit further away. And they're talking to him by himself now. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see what they come back with.
That is correct.
And
Cena
Tony.
will butt into your guys' conversation. Something rubs me the wrong way about this town. I mean, you guys did see those prisoners, right?
Yeah, we did see those prisoners, and in general, I had that feeling ever since we came in.
I mean, ever since we stepped foot here, it's kind of been new for me. I've never actually seen snow, so since everything's still kind of new, I just thought that it was pretty normal.
Yeah. Say, Veerity can be anything but normal at times.
That is a factual statement.
I mean, I thought about that with the sun disappearing, so...
Anyway, I don't want to make this about me. I just thought, you know, it brought up some old memories that I don't wish to be brought back up.
Well, hey, we can leave it at that then. We'll just have to be extra careful to make sure we don't get caught up in anything else.
And once you guys are done sort of talking, Silmanor and Ricard, you guys reconvene with the other three.
Well,
Yep, we gotta go
apparently we
talk
need to
to
talk
the
to
Duke.
Duke.
Wow, that was in sync.
Yeah, I was gonna say, only Pam a little bit surprised, like, alright,
Okay,
sounds
guess we're
like we need to
talking
talk
to
to the Duke. You've made your point clear. Where do you think we can find him? Did you get that?
next door, apparently.
Well, I'm pretty warmed up here, so I'm ready to go.
Alright, yeah, and with that, you guys head back out, and, sure enough, the large building to, the left of the tavern is, a big, castle-like building, and you can only assume this is the, town hall that the barkeep mentioned, so that's in
Nice.
fact where you guys head next. Is there anything you guys wanna look for beforehand, or are you just guys just gonna book it straight to the town hall?
I guess other than, like, more prisoners, Onipem doesn't have anything to necessarily look out for, so...
No, there are no other prisoners that you guys see along the way.
Guess we're going it.
Onward.
Alright. So, you guys make your way inside the town hall. It's not necessarily set up like a normal like public building would be. It's more like a giant castle that kind of just got converted into a space for public use. But there are a number of people just walking around, kind of in and out of the castle courtyards, carrying documents, just engaging in conversation, whatever else. But you do find a small little area where there is a receptionist desk, and there is a halfling lady at the counter who is working on some documents herself.
Onipem's gonna fly over. What time of day is it?
It's like the middle of the day.
Alright. Good afternoon!
The woman looks up. Oh, hello. Can I help you?
Onipem's gonna make sure that the Dawn Strider's badge is showing. We're here, from the Dawn Striders, and we're looking for the Duke. Or to make an appointment with them. Onipem looks back at the group.
She kind of stares you all down and just nods. It's like, yes, I will get the Duke as soon as I can for you. If you don't mind, just you can hang out here for a couple of moments. The Duke is he can be rather how do I put this? Grumpy at times.
You would say that about your own Duke?
Trust me, if you knew him, you'd understand. But I will call up to him and have him or let him know that you guys have arrived.
Alright, that would be wonderful. We'll be waiting around here.
So she does her thing, and after a little bit, she comes back to you guys and said, Ah, thank goodness he's in a somewhat better mood at the moment. But he is ready to see you. If you guys just follow this hallway down, his office should be the last door on the left.
Alrighty, that's good to hear. We'll be on our way. And Oni Pam will head down the hallway.
All right. I assume the rest of you follow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I sure hope so.
No, we go to the bottom right corner.
Yeah, we actually just leave Onipim alone.
Alright, let's go.
Speak in Draconic and then run away.
No!
Onipim just like, where'd everyone go?
I think
PTSD.
the moment that Onipam just like starts hearing the Draconic, it's like a red flag. It's like, oh no, something's happening.
Like Pavlov. You instant panic from the sound of it.
Exactly.
All right. Yeah. So, sure enough, you guys head down the hallway she pointed to, and find the last door on the left. And there is a, I guess, nameplate on the door that reads Duke Forsberg.
It'd probably be better if someone else knocked.
I knock on the door.
You knock on the door, and from the other side you hear somewhat, I guess, snarky voice. They just say, "Yes, come in."
I open the door.
Right now we can go.
And then we get shot.
Finally.
So heading into the office, you find a man kind of turned his chair around and is looking out the window out to the sea.
That's where they cast the troubles. Wait, did we get the Duke's name at all?
Forsberg?
Forsberg?
Forsberg. Yeah, I'll spell it.
Greeting Duke Forsberg. We're with the Dawn Striders, and we're here to help with the rumor that's been going around.
As you say this, he turns around in his chair, revealing a snow angel, but not like some of the snow angels that you have encountered previously. His clothing is similar, but his physical appearance doesn't really resemble that of the pale, cold, and frigid complexion that you have become accustomed to. Silmanor, Lilith, and Sina, you would all know that he is not one of the Northern Lights, who are the highest authority in Veerity. However, when speaking to him, he does come off as snarky, and feels that everything is a little bit beneath him. He stares you up and down. Oh, yes, you are the adventurers that I requested for.
That's right.
I
Yes,
smile.
well,
and I guess kind of nudge Oni Pam forward a little bit.
Alright. Here we go.
Yes, well, these rumors you speak of, they're true, I'm afraid. We don't really have much details about them, but we have confirmed of several fishing boats having gone missing just north of the city here along the river.
I see. Well, it's definitely good to know that the rumors are in fact true. And any bit of information you can help give us before we set out to solve the problem would be much appreciated.
Hmm. Well, for starters, these boats seem to be disappearing all in similar vicinity. Reports of them disappearing about 10 or so miles up the river. But no one's really returned to say what exactly is attacking them. So I'm afraid I don't have very many pieces of information to give you at the moment. I was hoping that you may all be able to go investigate and perhaps find out whatever is attacking these boats. This city is one of the most important ports in this country, and well, if we have something disrupting our means of transport, well, we can't have that now, can we?
Absolutely not. That's why we'll do our best to solve this mystery and get the boats back down and up the river.
You wouldn't happen to have recovered any of these boats, have you?
Only one. It was a small rowboat, but from what we gathered, the boat was completely torn in half. There was giant sort of slash marks through the bow, and well, much of the wood seating inside was also splintered and cracked as well. Whatever is out there is certainly much bigger than, well, any humanoid that I know of.
That's big.
Can I gauge whether he's trying to hide anything about this affair? With an insight check.
Sure.
Uh, 10.
You get the sense that he could be hiding something, but more than not, he kind of just seems uncaring for the most part about the whole situation.
Okay.
Yes, well, I don't really have much else to give you at the moment, but I I'm still working on a reward for you all, but in the meantime, I guess I can show you around the city and how we operate around here before you inevitably depart.
That'd be
Oh.
nice.
That sounds like a wonderful idea. And we would very much appreciate having a tour of the city. Onipam's gonna look over at Solmanar.
Are we doing that right away? Because I'm fine if the rest of you are fine.
Fine with me.
Yeah,
Well,
that's fine.
let's get a move on. The Duke will clap his hands twice and shout from outside. Priscilla, if you would. And from outside, the door opens up, revealing the halfling lady that you spoke to prior. Have my schedule cleared out for the next hour, please. I am going to show these folks around our wonderful city. Yes, Duke. Sir. Of course, right away.
Onipam's gonna do a little wave. Just a little wave.
Priscilla will give a kind of half-assed smile and a small wave back. But after this, she will look a little bit annoyed.
Damn.
Well, let's get a move on. I don't have all day. The Duke stands up and begins kind of just marching out.
Alright, team, let's not keep the Duke waiting!
Yeah.
Also, maybe not so much the others, but Lilith can definitely tell, Onipam is purposely, like, putting on a show.
Okay.
Being Onipam.
Before we step out of his office, can I kind of take a quick look over everything to see if there's anything of note, interest? Either it's memorabilia or whatever.
Or espionage.
Sure. Good perception check, I guess.
Okay. Oh, that's cocked.
Matt's just
Oh.
like, wait, he's out of the office. This is a
Nat
perfect
20
time.
Oh God.
Ooh,
for a 28.
nice. Yeah, so as you guys are all sort of walking out behind him, you notice on his desk some papers that read, well, they don't really specify anything in particular, but it's more so a list of scheduled prison ships or prisoner ships that are coming through for the week. And actually, you do notice one that is supposed to have arrived within the next hour.
That's supposed to have arrived. Okay.
Or will arrive in the next hour.
Okay. Alright. Any notes of, like, we know where they're going and where they're coming from. They're all going to the same place, but coming from different places.
Yes, kinda. They're all going out to what reads as Worm Island. and they seem to be coming from three sort of different hotspots altogether. One seems to be coming from the Charisolict area. One seems to be coming from St. Luca, and one seems to be coming from Soul Edge.
Okay. I'll repeat in my head the details of the current of the next ship coming in. Just in my head as I follow along.
Okay. So you guys make your way outside once again. And first, the Duke takes you over to the docks. Yes, well, here is the pride and joy of our city, the docking stations. Kusulik is the largest port city in the country, as we ship many different things back and forth with other countries around the continent. And then we ship them more inland up through the river.
I see. That explains why it's really important to make sure that the passageway is open.
As you guys move on to the next place, you see the prisoners that you saw beforehand exit out of whatever building they were in and start making their way to the docks and onto a boat. And the Duke doesn't really pay no mind to them and continues on. Next, the Duke takes you over to the Lake Light District. Yes, the Lake Light District. This is where our more residential area resides, with the main attraction being our frozen pond in the middle here. Many people love to take the time to ice skate once in a while, and some people even like to venture up to the lighthouse up on the corner there. Myself, I'm not one for ice skating, but it certainly does seem to keep people entertained.
How long have you been here?
Say what?
How long have you governed Kustulik?
Let's see now. I was in the capital for about 10 years, and then I'd say roughly 3 years ago is when I took this position. Granted, it was not my choice. Oh, how I'd much rather be living high and mighty up in St. Luca right now, but alas, I must watch over the commoners.
Well, someone has to.
Yes, indeed. I'm not sure anyone else would have had the patience to, but, well, I suppose I manage. Anyway, let's move on. Next, the Duke will take you back across the river, and he will take you over to Glacia Market. Yes, this here is Glacia Market, named after one of our top officials, one of the northern lights of the country. Miss Glacia, as I'm sure you have all seen before, is our foreign affairs minister, and much like her position, many of our trading hubs are named after her. And thus our market here is the trading hub within our small little city here. You can find many local items from not only Kustelik but across Veerity, and as well as a couple of foreign vendors as well, selling some items.
Ah, well, that does make sense. After all, this is the biggest port town here, so it don't make sense that there'd be a lot of goods to be able to choose from.
Yes, well, we must appease the people here if we are to you know, have our claim to fame be the biggest port city in the country. Certainly we would like to show off with one of the biggest markets as well.
Only Pam's gonna, like, turn over to Lilith. I'm not overdoing this, am I?
You're doing fine. I will say, when you do look over at Lilith, she is smiling, but you can tell she's like has a different agenda in her smile.
I remember that face. That's off for Only Pam, though. Not too much.
Yeah, so finally the Duke will take you over to the central square where you were before. And as you guys sort of head over there from the market, you notice a large building off to your right, pointed out on the map, right here. I
That's
don't know if you
big.
guys can see, but that is a Church of Cygnus, who is the god of winter.
I say Only Pam's gonna nod
Or-
as if she knows what that is.
He's the god of snow.
No.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Ethan.
Nah, I think you're right.
Guess you're good.
Cygnus is the goddess of snow and wilderness.
There you go.
Yeah.
And finally, you guys find yourselves once again in the central square. Yes. The central square as well as Beara Park. This is really where most of the activity in the city occurs. And our clock tower is the crown jewel, the withstanding landmark of the city. On the winter solstice, the top of the tower even lights up. And he looks down and points across the river, and over there is Beara Park, named after one of our other Northern Lights who oversees our I'm trying to remember. I can't remember my own character details.
She always oversees the park.
I have it written down. She is Saint Agnes Beara, who is the head of nature and health.
Oh, that would make sense why she's named after the park. It would make sense for her to be named after a lake.
Huh? You know what? Never mind. Anyway, yeah. So, lastly, the Duke leads you all to the entrance where you guys came from, and turns around and just kind of gives a smirk, I guess. And he's like, "Well, what did you think of our wonderful city?"
And he
More
kind of just gonna
than
look at the
initially
others.
meets the eye. I have one last question. This castle looks to have some considerable age to it. Who constructed this? Or else what people?
I believe it was ancient followers of Soul. This place was then abandoned long ago. But since then, we have reclaimed the castle and its remains and have constructed the city around it as such.
Interesting.
Any final questions? Otherwise, I imagine you all would like to get a move on.
No questions for me, but I appreciate being able to see all the attractions that such a lovely port city has.
I don't have any questions about the city itself, but could we use a boat for our little endeavor?
Sure.
Because if they're attacking boats, then we might as well use that to our advantage to figure out what's going on.
Absolutely. I will have my soldiers bring you a boat.
Much appreciated.
So you guys kind of hang out there for a second, and eventually the guards pull around a boat for you guys to use. And
I'm about.
as you
Is it a
guys
bigger boat than the glow dragons? Sorry.
Whoa.
It's more so like a small little like schooner, I guess.
So no.
I don't really know what
Nice.
size
As it should be.
boats are. It's not
Say
a
no.
rowboat. It's a little bit bigger than that.
Okay.
Glow Dragon's got the bigger boat. Let's go.
It's big enough to fit all 5 of you. So, but yeah.
Schooner's a pretty decently sized ship.
I don't know boat sizes. I just said schooner. That was the first thing that came to mind.
Schooner's a sailing ship.
Sure.
Throw it in the river and call it a day.
Any last questions?
Bring a cannon. Nope, no questions.
Well, it was a pleasure meeting you all. I must get back to work, unfortunately, but good luck to you on your quest. And if you find any clues, please return here. As
We'll
the
do
Duke
our
is-
best to get information back.
As the Duke is ready to walk off, you guys hear a shout from outside the walls. Sir! the Duke jolts around, and you all look over as well and see an injured soldier come prattling up and eventually drop to his knees in front of the Duke. Oh, my lord! Thank goodness! I have some terrible news. What is it? Spit it out. The prison ship that was supposed to arrive this hour. We were attacked by giant hulking white monsters. The Duke, hearing this, his expression changes and he looks somewhat in a state of panic, anger, and confusion all at once. He looks down to the soldier. What did you say? It's true, sir. These giant monsters, they came down from the mountains out of nowhere and started attacking all of us. It was so chaotic, I couldn't tell what happened. I managed to get away somehow, but I'm afraid most of the prisoners also managed to escape.
Huh.
The Duke turns around and he runs over to the nearest guard tower and shouts, "Men! Gather up immediately! This is urgent business!" And within minutes, about 20 or so soldiers come running up and are standing at a ready position. We have a situation at hand. We need to gather some search parties. As he goes over the details that the injured soldier explained to him with the soldier captain, who then relays it to all the other soldiers. And soon enough, all the soldiers kind of disperse and head out into the city in groups of 5. Or I should say, head out of the city in groups of 5, not into the city. Finally, the Duke returns to all of you. I apologize for the outburst, but it seems the situation has changed. I have been hiding some details from you all, as I didn't think them to be necessary to the mission at hand, but it seems I have no choice at this point. Yes, Veerity's prisoners often come through our port as well, and then are shipped off to sea to an island south of here, known as Worm Island, where they are held captive. However, this would not necessarily normally be a problem, as we only get prisoners who are below a certain threat level. But this certain prison vessel that was supposed to come through this hour had some of the more dangerous criminals that we have gathered up recently. And if they are out roaming about in the mountains, well, I'm afraid that they could be up to no good, as you know. So, here's the deal. Should you happen to run into any of these dangerous criminals, please apprehend them and bring them back here, and I will up your reward.
Tony Pam's gonna look over at Ricard and kind of like give him a nod and then look back. I think we can agree with that. We'll add it in as part of the threat that's coming with the mission.
These prisoners should be fairly easy to spot. Typically, we attire all of our prisoners in light orange jumpsuits to help make them stand out in the snow and have them easily be caught should they escape in a situation like this. And as for these large white monsters, he thinks for a second. I have heard stories of large bear-like creatures that roam the mountains. I believe many of the locals refer to them as yetis. And from the sound of it, it could be multiple of them.
Mm-hmm.
If they're able to attack one of our highly guarded prison vessels, then I'm afraid they may be more dangerous than many had led on to believe at first. So, should you encounter these monsters, please eradicate them as well.
Well, we know what they're after, so that'll help us prepare for whenever they show up. And they did say that they came from the mountains.
Yes, I'm not sure what they're after, but I do know, or I have read up that they can be rather territorial, so perhaps they feel as though we're trespassing along their land. However, Kingdom of Veerity has long reigned over this land far longer than some simple monster yetis. This land is a holy land and should stay as such. These devils should be eradicated. So please, for the safety of this town and for the Kingdom of Veerity, wipe them out.
Tony Pam's just gonna, like, kind of turn and look at the group and looking at their expression.
Still the same expression from Lilith.
Oh my gosh. She's really trying to keep it together.
Yeah.
Rico just looks like he's thinking about things.
So Minora is also kind of working through something.
Cena,
All right, you guys heard him.
Cena, much like you, Lilith, is kind of half-assing her smile and just like nodding along.
Alright. Well, you guys heard them. We have our mission, our objectives, what to worry about, what to prepare for. So, I think given for everyone's best interest, we should get this solved immediately before the problem gets any worse. And Onipam's gonna turn over. The boat is ready, and I think we should head out immediately.
Sounds good.
Agreed.
Aye, Captain.
Oh no.
Onipam's gonna be
Oh,
like,
no. Oh,
but like, oh, all right, let's board the boat and get a move on.
Captain is usually respected.
We'll get there.
Damn. Sick burn.
I'll note that. I'll note that it was with a heavy
By the
layer
way-
of sarcasm there.
I
Wow.
said the captain is usually respected and draconic.
Bro.
And I'll respond in draconic and say, "True."
You guys hear Lilith just chuckling to herself now.
Onipam is just boarding the boat. Onipam's just boarding the boat. That was it.
Yeah, I get on.
Yeah, you know,
Sina looks confused. She does not speak Draconic.
got him.
Oh, thank
Yes.
goodness. Thank goodness.
Alright. Yeah, so you guys board the boat. And your travels kind of take you north once again, obviously. And you guys remember the Duke saying that the rumors have been stating that these attacks have been happening about 10 miles up the river. 10 miles up the river would take about the rest of the day to reach the suspect spot. Is there anything you guys would like to discuss or plan along the way?
Oh, Onipam's definitely got something to talk to the group about. Alright, so spill it. What was going on in that city? You all look like you were about to snap at any moment.
Not a big fan of snowflakes. Let's just put it that way.
Not a big fan of assholes.
Just made me realize how distorted some people's views are.
He's not even a high end, and he still has that type of mentality. Very irritating.
Well, as you all know, they're all like that, unfortunately.
Well, I guess that's something I'll have to get used to.
Don't take it personal, Onipam. The Snow Angels couldn't care for anyone but themselves.
I just don't like boats. That's all from Onipam.
Alright, let's see. Yetis.
Well, then, to calm Lilith down a bit, she's gonna go to a corner and start polishing her sword.
Cena, after Onifam says she doesn't like boats, will respond, don't like boats. And, oh, wait a minute. That's right. You were on that boat with me, weren't you?
Yep, that was what Duncan told me about. We were both on the same boat, though very different reasons, if I recall correctly. You saying,
Right. Yeah, I guess I can understand the disdain for boats, having gone through that. And especially if you can't even remember what happened. But all I really can remember from that day is the loud crashes of thunder seemed to drown out any and all voices that were on board. It seemed like I was getting tossed around each and every way. And before it was all over, I just remember seeing a flash of light. And the next thing I knew, I was overboard. And I guess after that, I just tried grabbing on to something and holding on for dear life. And well, eventually I washed up somewhere. And luckily made it to Eden, but yeah, not something I would like to relive either.
Pam's gonna put a hand on her shoulder. Yeah, I feel the same way about it. Not exactly the greatest memory to think of. But that was all in the past. I don't like boats now, because for some reason, the boats keep moving forward. I fly off the boats, and yet I keep moving with it. It just doesn't make any sense to me.
You know?
Oh, have you considered just not flying while you're on a boat?
That's dangerous. You never know what could happen to the ground under you. Pam's gonna give a chuckle.
Cena will kind of laugh as well. Anyway,
Oh.
should we come up with some sort of strategy for what we would like to do?
I'd wager that since Yetis aren't used to the warmth, we could take advantage of maybe lighting the fur of one on fire.
Huh? And here I thought you were going to say something like, we should utilize fire spells. And just leave it at that. But you want to set one on fire?
Well, I mean, it's a good way to... It's a good way to make a little bit of damage count. Anyone happen to have any... Well, I suppose I do have some lantern oil. Anyone else got some flammable substances on them?
Pam's gonna stuff away her pieces of paper.
I'm checking.
Not enough
Yeah, no.
that it could be useful.
No.
I'm afraid I don't. I don't know
Yeah,
any
different
fire
setup.
spells myself.
only have
I
a
can
s-
use
a
fire
lantern.
spells.
I have a sort of flame, but it's... don't think it's the traditional type of flame that we need. How about you, Ricard? You got any fire spells?
Nope.
Well, I guess a torch will have to do.
Pam's gonna cast Produced Flame. And just kind of keep it close. Finally, other than lighting the way when the sun was gone, I can use this for something else.
Huh.
Everyone else could see, says in Draconic.
What was that, Lilith?
Ah, nothing.
Well, maybe Onipam. Maybe we could set a trap to douse the thing in lantern oil. Then Onipam can sneak up and then toss a flame at it.
That'd definitely help with getting one of them. We don't know how many of them will show up at a time, but it's definitely enough to do damage to set a whole prison ship in disarray. Wait a minute! How did a prison ship manage to lose so many prisoners, and yet no one's come back alive except this one guy until now? Ah! Onipam's gonna, like, stomp in the air. Man, that's such a big inconvenience.
What's even more interesting is the fact that it's not just by sea, but also by land. Yetis from the mountains, and also, I guess, something in the sea that's hindering them from doing this prison shenanigans. So, it's either Mother Nature trying to fight back, or something more to the story.
He did leave out more information, and who knows what else he's probably leaving out. Oops, we're getting off topic. We gotta think about how we're gonna deal with the problem at hand. Ricard got a cold?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Sorry.
He's not used to the cold.
Well, I mean, if they go after anything that's in their territory, then I suppose that leaving any trace of habitation or just the boat itself should be able enough to attract their attention.
And actually, Solmanor, your plan might be able to work a lot more now. Thinking about it, the Yetis did just get done attacking this prison ship, so we don't even need to go the entire way and, like, draw them out once we get to the spot. All we have to do is look for the signs of battle that have happened, and then we can try to follow the Yetis to where they're coming from.
Better keep our eyes peeled then.
Alright, it's time for some exceptional perception and keeping eyes out for this.
Well, so you said that you have trouble seeing at times, yes?
Well, during the day, I've got pretty good eyes. Pretty great, if I say so, actually. It's just at night, you know, the darkness, it's hard to see.
Okay. Well, it looks to be... Is it creeping into the evening now? Or is it still afternoon?
It's still in the afternoon.
Okay. I may have something that can help with that, but we'll wait until that becomes relevant.
So we're still planning things out.
Oh, and, hold on. Lilith,
Yes.
you're a pretty great opener, as we have seen firsthand. Let's just make that. Give me your hand for a second.
I give you the hand that actually has skin on it.
Yeah,
There.
and I'll just clasp it with my other hand and then give you Vigilant Blessing. Advantage on your next initiative.
Ooh, okay.
Oni Pam's gonna, like, watch.
Okay.
Well, thank you. I do appreciate that.
Well, just make good on it, and once we get into combat, start tearing it up as much as you were tearing into us in the tournament.
Just
Oni Pam smiling.
yeah, just like, ooh, yeah, I'll definitely do that. Then,
His grip tightens a little bit.
like,
Cena kind of notices you, Summonor, helping Lilith and kind of like going over some scenarios in your head. And she'll just pipe up. So, Summonor, I've noticed that you seem quite tactically sound. Are you quite interested in battle scenarios, I take it?
I'm what would call an aspiring tactician, yes.
See. Do you have any thoughts about any battle behaviors for these creatures? Or have you encountered anything similar to them that we might be able to go off of?
DM, have I encountered a Yeti?
I'm gonna say you haven't encountered a Yeti, no. Although you have encountered like bears and stuff in the woods around where you lived as a kid, and while not 1-to-1, you know, they do both kind of exhibit sort of territorial behavior.
Well, one thing is with the beasts is, they're very direct. I'd say if we already knew where their lair was, perhaps if we could take advantage of finding and capturing one of their young, that would certainly goad them into falling into a trap. But we might not have that wealth of choice before we encounter one.
Interesting. Well, who knows? Maybe we'll get lucky and that advantage will come to fruition for us.
Oni Pam's going to flutter over a little bit. Like I said, if any of the battle is still there from that prison ship, we should be able to look for any sort of tracks that they've left behind. That should be able to help us find wherever their lair, or even a spot that they could be resting at.
True.
Alright. Anything else from anyone?
That's it.
I'm fine at the moment.
I'm good.
All right.
I'm ready.
So, yeah, your journey up the river goes on into the early evening here, and you guys are kind of just strolling along, and you guys, sure enough, as clear as day, you find the remains of the so-called prison boat. It looks like the boat was attacked not from the water necessarily, but almost as if something kind of hopped on board and it kind of started tearing claw marks throughout the boat, which eventually punctured it in a way to where the boat started to sink and capsize as it is now completely flipped over, and there's just a couple of really big holes kind of in its bottom. On the banks of the river, you can see a number of footprints going in all sorts of directions, and you notice that there seemed to have been some sort of scuffle or wild I guess chase of sorts, as these footprints are kind of just scattered all about in every which direction. None of them really seem to be following any sort of particular fluid movement. Cena will stand up. Let's park here.
I agree, that'd be best.
So you guys drop anchor, head up onto the banks of the river, start looking around. Is there anything anyone kind of wants to look for in particular as regards to the footprints?
Big. The biggest humanoid sized footprints you could see, as the Duke kind of put it.
Maybe see if there's any. Is this? Are there any trees around, or are
Yes.
they pretty sparse? Okay.
There is a number of trees kind of lining the river. It's not the densest of forests, but it's trees are close enough together to where it's somewhat difficult to really see all the way through.
I'll check for any clumps of fur caught on any branches or anything like that.
You don't see. Or well, you see small tufts of fur, not necessarily like large clumps, but you do notice kind of like small little strands of fur kind of are draped over a couple of branches, and some trees even have like a couple of like indents in them from what could only assume to be claw marks. However, what's strange, Oni Pam, is there are no footprints in the snow. Or larger footprints in the snow, I should say.
Hey guys, I'm not seeing any bigger than any other kind of humanoid you've ever seen kind of footprints. Kind of just normal.
I'm gonna look around and see if there's just not necessarily like footprints or anything like that, just if there's anything like left on the ground from the ship being attacked of like that could be of note.
Yeah. Sure enough, you actually find a couple of dried blood spots. You see a couple of pieces of the orange cloth that I mentioned prior from the prison garb. And you actually see a hat similar to the one that the soldiers in the city were wearing. It's kind of like a British officer's sort of hat, that sort of style.
It was the British.
No!
I'll
Do
take
if
a
by land, what if by sea?
I'll take a look at the tufts of fur and be like, the avatar went that way.
I know that one. Oh, wait a minute. Guys, I just realized we have something here that can help us a lot.
Care to enlighten us?
Onipam is going to pick up Cider, and Cider is going to go, meow.
I suppose it's better than nothing.
Alright, I know what you're thinking. It's not a dog, but... Meow. And Onipam's gonna have Cider, like, sniff the fur and...
Yeah. Cider sniffs some of the tufts of fur that Silmanor has gathered, and she sniffs it, and her hair kind of stands on end as she like backs away.
Uh-oh. Looks like we've got something... I don't know what this means. Alright, Cider, what's up?
Meow.
So, meow.
Don't worry, Onipam has speak with animals at will.
Cider says to you, dangerous creatures. Up the mountain.
Oh wait, I should clarify, Cider is a guy, and it's also got the deep voice.
Oh.
So but yeah.
Dangerous creatures up the mountain.
There you go. Uh-oh, it looks like, we were right that the Yetis do come from the mountains. Onipam's gonna assume point to the mountain.
You guys look over to where you're pointing, and you actually see one specific trail of footprints leading up.
Are there multiple trails of footprints or just the one?
There are, however, none of them really seem to go very far. This particular trail seems to go the farthest, as you can't see initially where it ends.
Alright.
Yo.
It looks like, and as grim as this is, it looks like it pretty much took the bodies that were here. I don't think we've seen a full remains of a person.
Nope.
Brr.
are no bodies in sight. Well, I guess this trail is as good as any.
It's
Let's see where
time
it
to
leads.
sneak.
Cena will lead the way this time and start following the footprints.
Pony Pam is going to follow as well.
Yep.
Keeping an
Taking
eye out and being sneaky.
I'll be right back. I gotta take a piss.
Don't let the Yetis get you.
So you guys follow this trail up for about 20-30 minutes or so. It goes quite farther than you were first expecting, and it goes up the mountain, sure enough. By this time, it's getting very dark out, as you get further along into the evening. And you kind of lose sight of the tracks as the darkness kind of creeps over.
Now, I know this might not just be, a me thing, but it's getting really hard to see the tracks, and I think trying to make any sort of light might not be the best idea.
And snap, and you can see 150 feet in dark vision.
Oh, my eyes! Wait, what happened? I can see!
Same with everyone else.
Oh. Okay.
So your dark vision does enable you to see the footprints once again. However, weirdly enough, they kind of just stop right up ahead from where you guys are.
Pony Pam's gonna look up.
I will actually poke at the ground.
Yeah, can I just look around?
Sure. You guys make perception checks.
Alright, team.
I'm gonna tread carefully.
Yeah.
23.
Natural 1.
Damn.
He is not treading carefully.
I was honestly about to be really disappointed because the first roll was cocked and it was cocked between a 2 and a 20, but I still got a natural 19, so
16.
Right.
So yeah, 23.
Pony Pam looking up at the sky got a 12.
Oni
That's
Pam,
fitting.
you in particular look up and see the starry night sky above and are kind of just captivated by that.
Only Pam looks up.
I can see when I look up.
Lilith, you look
When I
down to
woke
the
up,
ground. Lilith, you look down to the ground and poke around, and it looks like there are some red spots in the snow. However, they seem to be fresher than the red spots that you encountered earlier.
Oh, great. Fantastic.
Aww.
Ricard, you look up and you see a body of one of the soldiers pierced through a nearby tree branch as blood drips down into the snow.
Oh, would you look at that?
I know, the night sky is beautiful, and it's not like the just normal night sky.
No, dumbass, to your left.
Is that a dead body?
Oh god. I don't know why when you said that. Oh, no,
Logan. Logan.
yeah, Logan Paul came to my mind.
Oh my god.
Gotta vlog it, guys.
Onipam.
Only
Just a
Pam's
thumbnail.
Logan
Yeah, just a thumbnail of Logan Paul, but replace it with Onipam.
Oh man,
Paul. Ethan, can you Photoshop that for us real quick?
no!
Oh,
That's the thumbnail. There you go.
No.
It's just that, but with Onipam's face.
And Onipam's pogging.
No. Only
Onipog.
Onipog. No. Oh my gosh. Well, we found one of the missing bodies. Is it a soldier or a prisoner?
That's a soldier.
Great, more trouble.
Well,
Looks
seeing
like
how
being
it's
British got him.
oh my god.
No.
Well, seeing how the blood is fresh, it could possibly be to scare us off, or they're storing them, or they know that we're gonna be following this trail and they're going to ambush us at some point in time.
Does this look like a public display? Does this look like we're meant to see it? Or does this just look like it's been left there?
You get the sense that it was kind of displayed there.
That's
Displayed there, but I didn't even see it.
Well, I suppose not everyone can prepare for you, Onipam.
Pam's gonna take that as a compliment.
I
Like,
choose to take that as a compliment.
Do you think then, if the tracks stop here, do you think they started using the trees to get through?
You know?
Do they look like they'd be able to support? Do the branches look like they'd be able to support that weight?
Yeah.
Damn, alright.
Pam just landed that one.
Alright, well
Of course, you don't know if these could be normal Yetis or not.
Or
then, you right.
They're actually... Oh, wait, good point.
If that's the case, then I'll look for the branches that seem like it has this bark like tearing off a bit, because you know maybe they've taken off the bark of the tree while they're swinging tree to tree.
Makes sense.
Oh, Brendan, would I have been able to, with the time on my boat, on the boat,
Damn.
damn,
Damn.
to kind of take
Fine now.
take the oil, the lantern oil, put it into kind of a container and kind of make a improvised Molotov cocktail?
Oh my goodness.
Jesus Christ.
As funny as that is, I'm probably gonna say no. I don't know if you have the knowledge of how to do that or not. I don't know. Ethan, do you want to give a second opinion?
What?
My
He's
study
asking-
of warfare.
Yeah, he's asking, would he be able to make a Molotov cocktail?
Improvised.
His improvised Molotov cocktail with his knowledge in the time it took them to get from the city to where they are now.
I don't think you would need knowledge of warfare. I
Sure.
think you would just know how to do that anyways. You're
Alright.
a lantern dude.
Yeah.
Nice.
I wasn't sure. So yeah, I guess you can make one to the best of your ability.
Okay. Alrighty. Well, now I can just give it to one of our beefy people in our crew and look around, see that arrow in our barn here. How strong does Cena look?
Not very.
Huh.
I am agile, not strong.
Us handshake. It's true.
I suppose I could just give it to Wick. As I just, my little homunculus lantern kind of hovers next to me.
Wick will scoop up the cocktail. I'm just picturing him as Lampant, so I'm just gonna say like
That is
Lampant's like
exactly...
tiny little like tail sort of like hand dealio will just like grab on it.
That is exactly what I was envisioning when I was making this homunculus. So yeah, there you go. Alright, well, I guess now Wick has something to do on combat.
But Lilith, you said you were looking for like evidence of like branches being like torn off or something.
Yeah.
What was your perception check from last time?
16.
Okay. You can't tell for certain if you do see like a line of branches that go off in like one direction that have like either bends in them or are just snapped. Although you can't tell if this was necessarily just from a Yeti possibly like messing with these, or if this is just from something else in the woods. Maybe like a windstorm or something like blew a couple of them down or whatnot.
I relay the information, be like, hey, so there's this direction with these branches and stuff. Maybe the Yetis went this way, but we should still look for more evidence of where the Yetis went. If we can find more of a, grounded location of which they went.
Cena will give a look around. Well, I'm not seeing anything that's any more damning evidence, so I'd say that's our best bet for the moment. Would you like to lead the way, Lilith?
I guess so. And I slither away.
We
And she
follow.
slithers away, slither, slither.
to the very
I-
next day.
Thought the same exact thing.
But Eric,
Morning birds.
Oh, I just said I thought literally the exact same thing.
yeah, so you guys followed this line of damaged trees and branches for another 10 minutes or so. They seem to be getting more and more less what's the word I'm looking for? Like, they seem to be more and more scattered and not as condensed as you go along. And eventually you reach the point where they kind of just fade off into the rest of the woods surrounding you. But you guys are kind of at the not necessarily, you're up the mountains a little ways. I wouldn't say you're like quite at like above the tree levels, but you can look out and see kind of down to where you guys were at the river.
Well,
Well, this does have a good view of the river.
probably where they observed the river, and most likely their hideout would probably keep them away from the elements, so possibly a cave is what we're looking for.
Seems right to me.
Yeah, sounds good.
Alright, I guess we'll try searching for a cave. A cave.
All right. Yeah, so you guys continue on, I guess. Just kind of searching for any and every cave that you can come across. You find a few very small caves that do not go very deep. And I guess, do you guys want to investigate?
Sure.
We can see, so yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the first cave has it has let me think here. This first cave has a few pieces of galatite, which is a fairly common ore. And then it also has some plants that you are unfamiliar with. They kind of have a kind of have a sort of like orangish reddish color to them, and they kind of look like pinwheels almost.
You know, Killibrand would probably know what these are.
Yeah.
So yeah, in total you find 2 pieces of galatite, and you find 3 of these flowers.
Does anyone know what these, I guess any of these are?
I'll take a look at the flowers. And with my training from Master Lenati in herbalism, we'll see if I can figure out what type of flowers these are.
You wanna roll a nature check for me?
I'll go collect the ore.
Tink, tink, tink.
Just casually just goes mining.
Okay.
Onibam's gonna keep a lookout.
Where's the freaking... That is... Ooh, nice. That's 24.
From your basic knowledge, as well as actually having, being from Veerity, you recognize these to be aster flowers, which are the national flower of the country.
Interesting.
However, what's strange with your knowledge, you seem to remember that these flowers don't typically blossom until late spring. So, seeing them in sort of the dead of winter here is a bit surprising.
Even more so considering we only got the sun back recently. Interesting. They don't have any specific properties, do they? They just look pretty?
They can give wisdom by doing stuff with them, I guess.
With my knowledge of smithing, would I know the best way to use the ore? Like, would it be best to use as protection, or would it be best to make a weapon out of it?
What about eating it?
Galatite, you would know, is used typically for more basic weapons.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Sounds good.
I'll gather some of the flowers and put them in my pack.
There's 3 in total, so.
Oh, okay.
3 flowers.
Alright. So, you guys gather up the stuff you find in this cave and move on, find a second cave. This cave isn't necessarily like a cave, it's kind of more just like a slight like indent into the mountain. There's like a small little, I guess, overhang of sorts that kind of forms this like cave shape, but it doesn't really like go anywhere. But in here you actually find some You find some. You actually find some pyre bells, which Summoner you would know, as you have worked with pyre bells before.
Well, good for fuel.
So you find 2 pyre bells.
Alrighty. I'll put that in my inventory.
And so, yeah, you guys continue your way up the mountain. And it is now completely nighttime. You can see kind of the glow of the moon reflecting off of the water, as well as kind of illuminating your path along the mountain a little bit as you have kind of gone far enough up to where the tree line kind of has dispersed a little bit. It's not really as covered, I would say. And as the moon kind of pokes out from behind a cloud, it actually illuminates in front of you some big footprints that you were looking for prior. And these big footprints actually continue up the path.
Alright.
It's like we might be getting close.
So, you guys follow the footprints for a little bit. And actually, they kind of swerve back inwards, further into the mountains. As so far, you guys have only been kind of following a trail that faces the river. But this one actually cuts into the mountain more so, and from here, the river kind of gets out of your guys' view. These footprints continue on for another 10 minutes or so, and eventually they lead you guys to a cave that has a kind of bluish illuminating glow emanating out of it. Cena pipes up. Well, this looks as promising as ever.
Does the blue glow look like a natural refracting of light, or no?
I would say yes.
Okay.
Well then, I guess let's see what that's about.
Yeah.
Gonna use disguise self to make my clothing almost like a camo, like ice blue. I think actually disguise self does your appearance too, so I can make my skin that as well.
Oh my gosh, it's the snow variant Somanor. It's Snow Manor.
Oh, snow manure.
Snow Manor.
It's a winter events in Illinois. There you go.
Alright. Well, you guys, are you guys sneaking up to the cave? Are you just gonna barge straight in, or
I'm sneaking.
what's the plan?
Yeah, I should probably sneak.
Yeah, sure, why not?
Yeah, sneak up to the cave, and Oni Pam can like kind of stay at the entrance.
I'll have Wick hover nearby Oni Pam, and all of us before we enter. It's like Oni Pam. If you think we're about to get into a fight, go ahead and light the Molotov that I have stored in Wick.
Oni Pam's gonna like look at Wick and then like point at the Molotov. I'm guessing that's a Molotov?
Yeah.
Alright. And then I just light that, and then what happens after?
Wick will take care of the rest.
Alrighty. Oni Pam's gonna hand cider to someone, or meow.
I
If Steph goes down, light up cider.
Light him up.
I kind of need my hands free for the fight.
Oh no, I just meant cider's going to go with you, so I can use my my touch spells that are needed. And Oni Pam's gonna drop cider. It's gonna like kind of stay by Solmonor.
Okay.
And it's gonna look up and just kind of stare.
I really like the light cider up idea better.
Just light the thing and be fine. All right, take my cat and do the same. My goodness. Also, I say Oni Pam's like, oh, take it so I can use one of my touch spells. It's just like cure wounds. That's it. I don't know how important that's going to be compared to anything else, but there you go.
Basically traded familiars.
Yeah. I guess maybe produce flame because it's a self, but
I don't think that works.
and there you go. Just light it on fire, I guess. All right, good luck in there.
Well, if you're all stealthing, can you all stealth roll?
Yeah.
Cider can actually do stealth rolls. That's
do
crazy.
I get any bonus from my camo?
I don't know. Does your camo say you get a bonus?
Well, it's just disguise self. It's
Oh.
He's doing improv.
I'm kind of trying
Dexterity.
to use it creatively. Maybe it's just a bonus to it.
Sure, you can get a +1, I guess, depending on what you disguise self into.
Oh, the snowman or camo. My skin and clothes is like matches the walls.
Okay. Sure. Yeah, +1.
Ooh.
Alright. Yeah, everyone stealths successfully. And you guys reach the mouth of the cave. And inside the cave, what isn't actually really light, but rather it's very bright blue ice that lines the walls and floor of this cave, creating this sort of luminescent kind of scene inside. However, you guys reach the mouth of the cave and you do not see any yetis or anything.
Meow.
Alright, continue onward.
Alright. guys head inside, and you take about 10-15 steps in, and all of a sudden you hear the mouth of the cave start to rumble
Rumbling.
as you see a giant slide of snow and rubble and ice come pouring down in front of the cave entrance, trapping you guys inside.
Well, shit.
And that is where we will end for tonight.
Oh my gosh!
I had a feeling.
Oh boy.
I sure didn't.
No,
Ah.
I had a feeling that was where it was going to end.
Ah.
Eh.
Man.
I mean, I did figure it was going to be a trap. I didn't expect that. Oh, hey, did we level up?
No. Goodbye, Craig. Bye.
Hooray. Oh my gosh. Don't light my cat on fire.